all the way to midnight. Win for Manchester 5 league visits. Important for these two in the front of the line to watch their discipline today. Bernardo Silva and Moise Caicedo, who are each within one booking of the suspension, pick up a yellow card today. Bernardo Silva would miss that huge Arsenal game next week. Once again, such a good player for City. That would be a real disappointment. Out of the tunnel, into the roar, Stamford Bridge, shaking in anticipation for this one. It's Chelsea's first Premier League game in 3 weeks. For City, their first Premier League outing in 4 weeks. Since Manchester City last played in the Premier League, they secured their first piece of silverware of the campaign, winning the match on a Billy Russell down to what City's real target is. Temple on the other side arrive here at Stamford Bridge with their eyes on the big prize. Rashida makes 2 alterations today compared to the Chelsea opening started their FA Cup win over Port Vale. Robert Sanchez plays behind a back 4 that sees one of those changes. Mark Cucurella comes back into the side, replacing Tosin. Joel Hatter will shift across to the centre to allow Cucurella to play on the left. The other Chelsea changes in midfield. Moise Caicedo returning in place of Romeo Lavia. Remember, still no Enzo Fernandez, due to a club suspension. There will be much attention on Cole Palmer today against his own club. Palmer, who scored that late equaliser for 4-4 against City when these sides met here 2 seasons ago. And up top, Chelsea's top scorer for the season, João Pedro, today looking for his 20th goal of the campaign in all competitions. 3 former City players on the Chelsea bench today, with Tosin, Delap and Lavia. Well, Pep makes just one change from the Manchester City team that started against Liverpool in the FA Cup last weekend. And that one change is in goal as Gianluigi Donnarumma returns. The defence sees former Chelsea player Mark Gay line up against his old employers. Nico O'Reilly has been on a fine run of goal-scoring form lately. In midfield, Bernardo Silva lines up alongside Rodri, who scored home and away against Chelsea 2 seasons ago. There is plenty attacking flair and charisma in this attacking 3. Antoine Semenyo scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup last time out. And leading the line, Erling Haaland, who looked back to his devastating best when he dragged a hat-trick in that cup game last weekend. There are 2 former Chelsea players on the City bench, Nathan Ake and Matthew Kovacic, who's hoping to make his first. No polite surrender. Manchester City must keep their foot on the gas. A team dressed in silver today, the silverware. And Chelsea need this too. They need it for their Champions League chase. It is an afternoon of great importance. Chris Manchester Guardiola and Leo Rossigna as we enter what is now the home stretch. This, no doubt, now a business end. 3 years ago, Arsenal led an 8-point lead slip. Can City put the squeeze on Arsenal again here? Time might be running out for Pep Guardiola. The suspense, the cinematic swirl. Can City keep it all going? History tells us that when the spring sun comes out, sometimes often bloom and block down that closing stretch.
Yeah, really good game ahead today. Quite rightly, Connor, you mentioned what's at stake for both. So there's clear pictures in your mind before this one started today. You've got to be positive. You've got to go and make it happen. You've got to want it a little bit more than your opposite number today. Some fantastic duels and battles out there. And messed about. We need to be nice and efficient. That aside, they've been very thorough in the league. They're looking good.
Andre, under pressure from Moise Caicedo, that'll be a really good battle between those two today. Who can gain the superiority and the control of that central area of the midfield? Haaland using his strength to good effect. Rodri appeals from City fans, it came off an arm. Bernardo Silva. O'Reilly. Tracy needs to trip forward into midfield for City. Here is again. Turkey on. Glorious Turkey, who has then hit the ground in the aftermath, claiming he's been fouled. City for the moment playing on with 10 men. Anton Semenyo, Kukure's going to be careful. It's the first quarter of the afternoon, and the referee will come across to check around Turkey.
He's actually holding his space there, right, Turkey. He's back up now, rolling around on the floor for a bit, but he's back up. Looks like we're getting on with the game.
Turkey okay to continue. Bernardo Silva has gone across to take kick today. His 297th Premier League appearance and makes Bernardo Silva a Portuguese player who has appeared in the Premier League. He overtakes what was Luis Boamonte's old record. This is Mateus Nunes, Marquez for Haaland. And how close was that for Manchester City? Chelsea making hard work of completing the clearance.
Yeah, vital interception there. Because Erling Haaland had a tap in. That was a great leap from Marquez. He beautifully flighted ball. Cushion off towards the back post.
Here is Turkey. Now Anton Semenyo.
It's a very typical start, isn't it, from City? Bossing proceedings, playing in the other half of the field with the ball, asking questions early on.
Okay. Cheats to look up and spot that Turkey has some space. Now Mateus Nunes. Rodri. He clips it straight into the arms of Robert Sanchez, but real typical Pep Guardiola pattern there as City worked into the byline.
He's actually got into a really good position there, Rodri. Probably wasted that. Wasn't the best delivery from him.
early stages. The win probability computer, as you can see, has this one down as a tight contest. Manchester City favoured, but not by much. You can just imagine somewhere in North London, Mikel Arteta has to be watching this. Maybe glancing through his fingertips at times. Here comes Semenyo, holds off Cucurella, stopped by Caicedo. Got his touch on Serta. Pedro Neto. It's time streaming for it on the other side. Palmer again. Accelerates away. It's into the side netting.
It's a really good counter. I had to go initially. Cole Palmer went the wrong way here. Thought he might have been bouncing. Okay, he's trying to get across on the cover. Going out towards Esteban on the other side, but again skips past Rodri. A little too easy here. Look for the cutbacks, a tight angle, I think, to try and beat Donnarumma as a giant at the near post. Something cut back for an on-rushing player there might have served better.
The incentive for Cole Palmer today. That shaped him. Club that ultimately let him go. It is well over a year since Manchester City were last beaten in a Premier League game in London. Actually, this season City have drawn half of their league matches here in the capital. That is looking on. There have been, since the start of the season, 8 Premier League games that he hasn't played for Chelsea. They've only managed to win 1 of those 8 league matches. Senior, who started so well in this job on his first 4 Premier League games. Since then, it's been 1 victory in the last 6 in the top flight.
Yeah, top month they've had, haven't they, Chelsea? And these are the games that you're always judged on, really. These are the ones that absolutely matter. So decisions that the Chelsea coach makes today have got to be good ones and work for his team.
Fofana towards Esteban. It's a day when Chelsea have got to be careful in possession. There's a guy who fantastic first touch, Gianfranco Zola.
Yeah, some player, Franco, and a lovely man too.
Just to kept to play by Semenyo. Nice touch come up. Cucurella. That's what Semenyo thought. It's going to be a Chelsea throw. Hatta. No longer a teenager, Joey Hatta. He turned 20 last month. Unbeaten the last 12 times he's taken on Chelsea since that Champions League defeat back in 2021. Swept aside. Neto. Looking for Cole Palmer, well anticipated by an eager Bernardo Silva. Rodri's not been able to control. John Pedro. Kushner did well. Still stride for stride. First opportunity of the afternoon.
To be quick, Kushner, and he had to be there. Delayed and eventually doesn't get anything on it. It's a decent block shot, Pedro going all the way. Doesn't have a tremendous amount of support again. It took something special to beat Donnarumma from that angle, but Bender doing his job.
Remember, Kushner made his Premier League debut against Chelsea last season. He had an early error for a midweek goal, and it's like 3 minutes into his first Premier League appearance. He's much more seasoned at this level now. And from Uzbekistan. It's easier for Palmer, who went to shield to the sun. Augusto. Pedro Neto. Better now for Chelsea, more control. Caicedo, scooping. Kushinov. Palmer. Andre Santos returns it to Cole Palmer. There's a deflection, but that just took the sting out of it to Gianluigi Donnarumma.
Yeah, don't quite fancy him as much, do you, when he gets on his right peg? That one there. Initial one on his left foot was just pinched off him by Bernardo Silva, but there's better pressure from Chelsea.
Santos will a sleight of hand trick really for the Englishman to deceive Rodri and to force the foul.
He's been caught a few times this game, Rodri. Just looking for that initial bit of pace and legs to get back the cover. He can't get there at the moment. Has to get up to speed a little quicker.
These are demonstrations that the deliberate pull of the shot from Rodrigo might have been worthy of further punishment. 10 minutes in. First Chelsea attacking set piece of the afternoon. Augusto and Pedro Neto standing over it. It should be a waste, ultimately, for Chelsea.
Yeah, coming from that sort of angle, you've got to stand it up a little bit higher to give people a chance to make their run, lose their marker, or get on the end of it. It was too flat from Pedro Neto.
Shot took too long. João Pedro. Pedro Neto. Andre Santos. Riley. Palmer gets it back for Chelsea. Stones in the same position as that pass was played to him. Yellow card shown. First booking to the afternoon.
There was a bit of dissent, I don't know what happened there.
Seems to be delaying the restart, and that's why he's picked up the early yellow card there. Chelsea have had 7 Premier League red cards this season, more than any other team, and it does feel imperative today that Leo senior side keep 11 on the bench. Early booking for Esteban. Turkey asking too much of Semenyo. Who's got against City 3 times in his career for his old team Leicester and for Chelsea's. Been beaten on all 3 occasions.
I think that's a crucial Chelsea today. So and Wesley Fofana. Experience, but we're up against absolutely one of the very, very best today, and they've got to keep him right.
Here is Joey Doku. He's not so much on the ball in the early stages here. Tackled by Palmer. Rodri. Gay. Back. Bernardo Silva to Cherky. Now Anton Semenyo. Taking on Malagusto. Tripped aside. Silva. Not unable to make firm contact. City hold on to it with Mateus Nunes. Manchester City who have won 4 of the last 5 Premier League visits here to Stamford Bridge, but today's match with an intense pressure on its own, and City simply cannot afford to drop any more points.
They have the lion's share of possession in the opening 14 minutes for Chelsea. with the 3 attempts. Not the goalkeeper really, anything much to do yet.
Completely alright. Sport against Chelsea for his old team Wolves in the past with Nunes. That was this one 3 years ago.
Always makes me laugh when I see him like that. He wants to have a go at someone really, but just a little shake of the head.
City want to corner him and they're not going to get it. That is going to be a goal kick. Who's not scored in his last 21 games in our competitions. I feel he's due on. Quarter of an hour in. 0-0 on a day that Arsenal are praying that City drop points. Kukurea into interrupt. Pedro. Here's around Rodri. The on-field decision is that Mark Kukurea was offside as the pass was played to him.
Looking at the text, he's ball watching a little bit there. That's taken a French that's looks like he's just off there, but it's tight. Lovely finish, really clever finish, mate. Make sure he gets that up in the air out of the top of the run. As the goalie comes himself, just make sure you get it off the floor. Lovely finish.
Smart finisher on Kukurea, who scored against West Ham in January. The new assistant referee agrees with the on-field call from the assistant Ian Husson on the far side. While Kukurea was in an offside position.
Yeah, not the best defending that, gotta say.
His opportunity for City. Bernardo Silva to Jeremy Doku. Managusto again tries to the ball. Important touch there for the Frenchman. This is Rodri. Doku. Alright. Trying to pull it back. City get the corner. And it's end-to-end at the moment instead for Bridge.
It is, isn't it? Both teams actually, when they really go at the opposition, look like they can find a way through. Lovely run from Nico O'Reilly. Gets to the dead ball line. Maybe just could have stood that one up towards the far post. Haaland was there, but tries to cut it back. Both teams looking dangerous in the final third.
Checking to Bernardo Silva. Chelsea defenders trying to step out again. Still Bernardo. Rodri. Nunes looking for width. Doku. He's been able to shrug off Esteban. O'Reilly was unfortunate not to be able to Esteban was fouled. Referee says play on. It's a good footwork there for the Brazilian. He releases Pedro Neto, who's got Kukurea in close support. Nunes. City going to be careful inside the penalty area.
Once he gets in the box there, Rodri's a little brain and they want to touch him in case he goes down, takes the shot again. He gets down and gets a good hand on it.
City with most of the possession, but Chelsea with a disallowed goal. And now the save from Donnarumma. They've got a point to make an attack. This is Kukurea again. And the flag is up again. Premier League fullback with more touches in the opposition box this season is Arsenal's Julian Timber than Mark Kukurea. He likes to get forward, he needs to be on the shoulder of the opposition.
He's very good, isn't he, when he lends his support to the forward play, Marco Correa. Drifting into those wide positions, and then every now and again he'll dart between centre half and back, and he's useful like that, very good.
Okay. Almost 20 minutes in now. Doku. O'Reilly. Cross came in. Joao Pedro. Presentation of that seems strong free kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, it's been a lively opening 20 minutes. Looks like it's one of those games who's going to take that extra touch in a tight area to produce a chance or a pass for somebody. Because both teams have had enough of the ball, have had enough good situations already. Just need to take that little bit of care.
Go inside of Malagusto this time. Points it up for Bernardo Silva. Here's Turkey. Challenge. Obviously relieved to get the free kick there. It's really good from Doku initially. And then Koldebauer tries to take the free kick before the opponents have retreated. Chris Kapanen today. It's two teams who really want this. Arsenal stumbling yesterday. City hoping the door might be opening. The gap might be shrinking. They've got the games in hand, but City have to win them. Fofana to Estevao. O'Reilly right in on top of him. City with it. Turkey. Haaland. Rodri against Kukurea. Battle the two Spaniards. It's one for the Manchester City player.
That's better from him. Much better. Rodri got there ahead of Kukurea.
Tata. Bernardo Silva. Chance to give it back to City cheaply. Turkey. Midway through first half now. Kushanov. Recently received it, picked up their effects microphones, urging Dexter to get right into the face of the test. Chelsea with the hunger in pursuit of Champions League. Of course, we will see this team who started today in 6th. Champions League place available to the top 5. Doku finds Haaland. Bernardo Silva.
So, very dangerous. Drifts in perhaps a bit more, I think, than Doku. Doku likes to hold the width, give the team that natural outball.
He's also played in cup competitions, but this is Jeremy Doku's first Premier League start since January. City fans delighted to see him back in the 11. Using all his experience there and deciding that was not the time for anything fancy. With Koldebauer bearing down upon him, he simply put
which is the right call, Corbin. Too much at stake now in these matches to start being step overs and goodness knows what else. Just put it.
Who played against Chelsea for his old team Paris Saint-Germain last summer in New Jersey in the Club World Cup final, where he was on the losing side against today's opponents. Stidal, Pedro, now Silva seeing an opportunity. Chelsea hold on to it. Mateus Nunes. Fofana. Straight up for some Palmer. Kashlov quickly into closing down. Gusto. Campeches the target. Reading principally there. So close to an opening for Chelsea.
Brilliant movement comes out Pedro. Lovely delivery, Malo Gusto. Watch out, Pedro just peels in behind Mark Gahey, number 20. Watch him going in behind, then straight across the front of him. Right at that moment that Gusto just picks his head up to deliver it. He's inches away from getting his foot on that.
João Pedro, who had scored in 4 of his last 5 Premier League home starts. Doku gleans his innocence with a free kick for Chelsea for the foul on Augusto. It's Pedro Neto. Chelsea legs.
These two guys know each other very well, don't they? Mateus Nunes. The little winger does really well there.
That's by Mateus Nunes, headed on by Michael Correa. Donnarumma hits it straight off Bernardo Silva. Cleared this. Donnarumma again. Palmer. Taking the one to Chelsea went to the corner. Box offside. Free kick to Manchester City with half an hour in West London. He was under pressure there.
He was. I'm surprised he didn't catch one of them, Connor. When he's come and catch one of them. He's such a giant of a man, and he's trying to watch that ball, and he's got one fist up in the air looking to punch it. Didn't make great contact either time, to be honest. I think he was there to be cool. Look, there's Marco Correa in front of him. Just go and get it, go and grab it.
Here is Cherky. Doku. Wanted to receive.
Found one pass from centre forward yet, haven't they, City? Haven't managed to release a.
He's to release Pedro Neto.
Yeah, just over half an hour. There's nothing much in it. As I mentioned earlier, it's just about who can produce a bit of class, a bit of quality, a bit of magic to unlock a door.
Riley continue the run here, Palmer tracking. Palmer was unable to clear for the presence of Malo Gusto. He seems a huge turn there to the run before eventually deciding that he could go
initial position was a good one, but you're right, he turned and headed for home. When actually he was always going to get there first. Later he goes, oh no, now he comes back again. Does well to in the end, make sure he mops it up.
It's all right. A words goalkeeping in the end from Robert Sanchez.
Yes, great run, Nico O'Reilly again. It's the second time in the game he's got into that position. This time he does produce a decent cutback. Bernardo Silva maybe with a little deflection doesn't quite get enough on it. Robert Sanchez. That's it, he managed to grab it at the last moment.
His first fly to the break and Manchester City's number 11 is looking excellent. Test Nunes. Doku again. It's to get back to double up along with Malagusto. Shaking. Shaking. Semenyo. Chelsea will steal away. Estevao. Oh, it's like they'll drive that Guardiola crazy with Ryan Cherky. All the talent in the world. Just lost his concentration. Estevao again.
He actually did well there, Cherky. Sprinted back to get it behind Mark Gay, who did well to just deny that counter attack. But you're right, Connor. They lose positions too often for a City player.
Santos loses out to Jeremy Doku. And Santos plays free kick to Manchester City.
It's a good battle, they're both really committing everything to try and make sure they come out on top in that duel.
Santos starting today means he's made more Premier League starts under Liam Senior than he made all season before the new coach's arrival. Took it straight to Palmer.
I'm a little surprised City haven't put it in the box a bit more for Haaland, crossing-wise. They're not a team that ordinarily wants to just get it wide and throw it in there, but I think against Lafana and Hato, I think today, that represents a situation for Erling Haaland which he could come out on top.
Just scored with his head in the FA Cup against Liverpool last weekend. He's Bernardo Silva. Okay. Semenyo. Stopped by Patronet. Chelsea goes another counter. Semenyo on Neto, free kick to Chelsea. Semenyo.
Yeah. Good sloppy play from Semenyo. He had the ball at his feet, gave it away, and then he sprinted back. Didn't want to allow Pedro Neto to get away at all. Knows what he's doing there. Probably always thought he was going to get the card. Quite rightly. Duly obliges.
So the right winger for each team now on a yellow card as Antoine Semenyo joins Estevao in the referee's notebook. Hatta to Kukuman. Cut out by Tess Nunes to ensure that Patronet wouldn't get onto that. Augusto. Just about kept in by Estevao, but he was unsettled. O'Reilly sensing the discomfort. And this is Turkey! No failure on the shot as it's saved by Robert Sanchez.
Great run again, Nico O'Reilly. Good pressure. Wins the ball, then immediately looking to back those blue shirts into the box. Does that perfectly. It's a nice cutback. Yeah, that's a risky ball from Fofana. It's casual and he's got that in him, Wesley Fofana. That silly mistake at a really crucial time. He's got to get rid of that.
Here is Cherky. City hoping that a couple of attempts on target now they're getting closer to a breakthrough. Hato with the foul on Semenyo. Santos. Haaland works really hard to get that great back.
There's the attempts. Just the extra on target for City, but it's tight. There is very little in the game at the moment. First goal today, you feel it's going to be a big one.
Arsenal fans looking on. To be 3-0. They really want us a Chelsea goal today. 5 minutes of normal time to the break. Turkey. Gay. City can't get it to Doku often enough at the moment. Taking on Maragusto and winning another corner for his team.
Always a handful, isn't he, Jeremy Doku? It's just whether he can provide that delivery. Because his work from the halfway line to the edge of the 8-yard box to the byline as he does there is always so good.
Could a set piece like this provide Manchester City with a breakthrough? Cherky to Doku. Came off Palmer, close proximity. City forced back again. Into back down Kukurea. And the pair will do the job. Casado. Kick for ball. Not necessarily fouls. Chelsea can take their time over the free kick.
Well, 3 or 4 minutes from half time, City have had plenty of but need to create better chances in order to take the lead. Chelsea have had some moments, need a bit more out of Cole Palmer. Estevao hasn't really seen a lot. Neto 1 or 2 decent runs, but just a little more all round from the home team.
Nicely worked, Casado, Santos, now Malagusto. Estevao to Palmer. Chelsea have allowed City to get back into a complete defensive formation. 3 minutes remaining now. Malagusto. Estevao. Onside this time. Up against Bernardo Silva and O'Reilly, and he nearly squeezed in between the pair of them. Augusto. Andre Santos. Don't know where it comes, and this time he gathers.
Good hands, nice safe hands from the goalie. Always anticipating, stepping out, grabbing that. Good play.
O'Reilly, Doku, stopped by Andre Santos.
He's played well, Nico O'Reilly. When he joins in, he's always got that little bit of composure and looking to try and provide something. Happy to step in there into midfield areas where it can be very tight and congested.
Manchester City have had some tough days in London this season. They conceded a 93rd minute equaliser at Arsenal. They let a 2-goal lead slip at Spurs. They conceded with the only shot they faced at West Ham. Silva. Hato. Fofana. Chelsea trusting themselves in this tight area. Haaland nearly able to prize it back. City do in possession. Chelsea a little careless there. This is Cherky. Oh, Rodri fancied the shot, you know, but Cherky didn't get out of the way.
Yeah, he was walking onto that, Rodri, wasn't it? We know he can ping them beautifully from that sort of distance.
Goals again from Chelsea fans. They're really struggling to clear at the moment. Kushanov, Kane. Now Docker. Cherky. Step over looking for space. Mateus Nunes. Semenyo. Can he find the angle? This is towards Semenyo. He took a touch of the way. It's going to be a corner to Manchester City. That's the best we've seen today from Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah, skipped past 3 blue shirts actually. Just that direction from Andre Sanchez in the middle. Sanchez always saving that strike. That's a good run. Positive work back from Semenyo.
So to stoppages we go. 1 solitary minute to be added on. Corner from Bernardo Silva. Again, he was arriving on the back stick. Malo Gusto will claim that he was pushed here as the ball came in. Didn't think Gay was getting to that anyway.
It's a little too much pace on it for everybody actually there.
Marquet, who won the FA Cup last season. These teams could meet in the FA Cup final this time round. Chelsea will face Leeds in the semi-final. Manchester City take on Southampton. It could be the City-Chelsea final. Foul on Joao Pedro. 1 minute just expiring. Chelsea get an attacking free kick that could be the final passenger play in this first half.
Yeah, make sure you get something delivered into the box here. Doesn't have to come in straight away, but you're not going to knock it 3 or 4 yards. Whoever receives that pass, make sure you whip it in.
Neto. Good cross comes out. Andre Santos can't keep it down.
Chance that.
There is the whistle for the break. Andre Santos is yet to score a Premier League goal. What a final punctuation mark this would have been at the end of the first half at Stamford Bridge. A goal disallowed from Marco Correa. Chelsea have had chances. Manchester City being held scoreless for now. And that will please Arsenal for now. At the break, at the bridge. Chelsea nil, Manchester City nil.
Yes, no breakthrough so far. Opportunities few and far between here at Stamford Bridge. First, when you do sense the importance of the first goal today, Donnarumma called into action. Manchester City were able to respond, but neither side ultimately have been able to find a way through. Stay with us.
Chelsea. Meu coroa na game na dia. Oh, mau itu tuh aja no. Aja no ya aja wano sih.
We want you to stay. Introducing Betway Rewards. Earn points for every person you place. It's that simple. You can also convert your points to cash whenever you like. With Betway, loyalty always pays off. Join the action today and start earning points.
Sporting mena bahagi
Dreams
mena
of
bahagi
success
to
for
me
a
ho
child.
mati ho
A doctor, a
itu ko
lawyer,
deu gas no ho
yes, Your
na
Honor,
mena
maybe
ko
even a football star. But trading, that was never part of the conversation.
Trading?
Until she discovered HFM, a place that offers knowledge, guidance, and tools she can trust.
Ako Sporting
Now, she even asks
movie
about
nakadaka
market updates. HFM, trusted knowledge, smarter decision.
kadaka
It's me, Azar.
Hey, you look fresh.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, for greater coverage and colors that
e Barcelona to guera era da kidia da
from Azar Group.
na ne fu ke ba igere era da kidia da kiyote
Introducing Selton Sky, Ghana's most iconic residence. Not just tall, not just bold, but a symbol of excellence. Elevated luxury is no longer a feature. It's the air you breathe.
minyole ne a uru
Legacy
kibeti ada kiyote
command the future.
mati ati
Selton Sky, Ghana's tallest building. Residence of rare distinction.
ho ti voi no da kiyote malare qua cái lúa của nó là gì ăn quá với cò quá cái nào
Welcome to the Wonder Diamond League from Zurich, Switzerland. You ready for a big one here? allow Man City onto you, eventually they will hurt you.
Now, you've all noticed, particularly at the start of the game, how open City were in that midfield area, and in particular, some unforced errors from Rodri in there.
Not like Rodri, of course, he has had a bad injury. We see here he's still possibly not up to speed, just that sharpness, lacking a little bit of speed there, and then Cole Palmer picks the ball up, runs at him, and again he's really ponderous. Cole Palmer eventually gets a shot into the side net, and again in this situation we see Rodri chasing João Pedro, but getting nowhere near him at all, and that could have been, for the sake of a couple of inches, that could have been a goal, but given offside in the end. And again here Rodri in his customary position, but on the ball, not doing the customary Rodri thing, so we all know he's a world-class player. But in that midfield with only Rodri there, you've got the likes of Bernardo Silva, you've got the likes of Cherky in there, attacking players. He really is quite isolated, and he needs to almost play a little bit better, let's say, otherwise Chelsea could have run through the middle.
I think that's one of the reasons Pep brought Rico O'Reilly into midfield a few months ago. That he brought the energy, especially in the transition, because since his injury, he hasn't been able to make the transition pace. And when Nico O'Reilly was in there, he was able to get forward and recover and make them recovery runs as well.
Right, what do you want to see more from City in this second half? Try and threaten that Chelsea goal a little bit.
Tempo, I think when they get into the opposition half, they can play with a lot more tempo. I think just after the disallowed goal, after they raised it a little bit, and all of a sudden it just faster pace. He wasn't getting much opportunities, but he looked like Chelsea had to be a little more concentrated, especially at the back, so a bit more tempo in that position half for me.
Okay, well, they've seen the results in North London yesterday. They have to do their job here in West London today. 0-0 so far, halfway through. They'll want more threat in front of that Chelsea goal. Chelsea, of course, have only won once in 6 Premier League games. Will be the happier of the two so far at the break of 0-0.
behind Liam Rossigna and the Chelsea bench. And we can grab a quick word, we understand, with the Chelsea manager, Liam Rossigna.
Liam, less of the ball, but more of the chances. Encouraged by what they've done the first half.
It's been a very tight half, two very, very good teams. I think we have to stay focused and defend very, very well. And when we have had chances to play, we've created chances, so we just need to keep playing in this way and continue.
In terms of depth, is a bulk of it coming down your right with Boku and O'Reilly? Is that something you need to be wary of?
Yeah, I think they've got threats all over the pitch. So
Manchester City completed 344 passes in that first half, most by any visiting team here at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League game first half since such records have ever been recorded. I think they've been able to create a few opportunities of their own, and I think you'll be pleased enough with things so far.
Had it gone past you, Hato.
City who struggled to pick out their way out of the box in the first half, and they provided him with that opportunity right at the start of the second period. Yes, Shirky! Exciting start to the second half at Stamford Bridge.
It's a good right, hits it hard, and just a little nick goes out for a corner.
Plenty Manchester City backed behind that goal. The team is attacking. Marquet here has ended up inside the net. City short again. Doku. Take careful inside the penalty area there. City loudly appealing for a penalty here, but the video assistant referee has already confirmed that this will not be a spot kick.
He's just stepped across there, goalkeeper, to get his body in. Slips a little bit. Personally, I don't think that's even a penalty, but it's on the wire. This was great work again. Doku brilliant here to early half, just didn't get that ball and settle down enough to be. He's kind of bobbling around, he hasn't really got it under control on the strike. I think was always going wide.
Gallagher's got 3 goals in his last 2 appearances here at this stadium. That is a warning sign for Chelsea. They won't be able to afford him to give in that sort of space in the penalty area again. Manchester City will struggle for second half goals in recent times. The last 12 Premier League games, they've only second period of those matches. And here comes Leah Cherky. Nice step over to go around Hato. So it was able to recover. That goes for a City corner.
Working at a rate of not staying around. Cherky burst off 2 off. Standing still with a stop start, there's one. It's not a great challenge for Cole Palmer, I've got to tell you. But that's enough for a pen, that one.
Palmer allows Fofana to clear. The more angles saw that Cole Palmer challenge, the more contact this seems to be not just on the shoulder but down on the feet as well. But the referee's on-field decision was that it was not a penalty, and the video assistant referee was quick to concur. There was nothing obvious that would change that judgment. Here's Sereni. Since the restart. Sereni.
Con có lời ca tiếng
Manchester City lead at Stamford Bridge.
He's got getting good areas. I've been screaming out because I'm not convinced with Chelsea in this respect. There's nobody offside. That's why. How on earth is Nico Riley? Santos just trying to blow. That's a really good healthy goal, and it's been a second half with really intimate City right from there.
The title race, Thunder is rolling in from faraway hills. Lost 6 goals in 9 games in all competitions. What a second half of this season that Nico Riley is having. City, who started the second half strongly, being rewarded now on the scoreboard. From Serena. First touch delay done. City have the lead. Now can they hold it? Can they build upon it? This is the outcome that Arsenal were dreading today. If it stays like this, City move to within 6 points. They would still have a game in hand. Arsenal, who travel to the Etihad next weekend. And at the moment, Arsenal grateful for that superior goal difference, which, who knows, could become a really important factor.
Key point, however, City keep on winning, and that's going to come down. Great heading that, Nico Riley got there. Really good. Not only did he engineer that little bit of space, but he finished it beautifully. Did contact, powered it into the roof of the net.
It's a goal that cracks open the title race. It's a goal that damages Chelsea's aspirations for a top 5 finish in Champions League football for next season. Long wait. City made the breakthrough they so desperately craved. Crucial. Looking for Semenyo in around the back of Kuka there. What a pass. Semenyo! City on top.
Yeah, they're really testing Chelsea because they're playing at a different speed.
Kukurea has been shown a yellow card in the middle of all of that for dissent. Finally sent around. Here is Walker. Straight to the second half, enormous implications. Just as he recognises this is filling the year in West London.
Corre,
Non devi durare a caramo di
short. Really puts it in focus. Shows what a critical score that was.
proceedings at the moment, Chelsea have to be very careful here. This game doesn't get away with it. City score again. It's a long way back.
Looks for the run by Suarez. Detrimental to the club.
Behind that back line. Just to try and stand it up. Position this time to attack. Just send it away over the corner.
Just accompanying that aerial threat. City hope that they've got Chelsea just what they want. Hoping they'll get Arsenal just what they want. Turkey, away from door, away from Esteban.
Is absolutely perfect. Watch the way Margate just opens his body out here and takes this for his right foot. That is wonderful. Perfect first touch. That gives him the chance then to go and knock it in the back of the net. And it's a brilliant finish.
Been scored by defenders. It's the first hit of the Manchester tight and close has suddenly swung in City's direction.
Since the start of the second half, Chelsea have been able to stitch the pass together. It's been all half-time Pep would have said, come on, if you are City. Rice tell you as well, sometimes stats can deceive you, these ones don't. They don't lie. They've been totally dominant.
For a while, we thought we're going to coast. But then we were going to enjoy the role to cruise on the line. It's rarely so straightforward. Manchester City is setting us up for some type of running now. Jack Benjamin.
Ele matarau bwana. Yeye ni kazi.
Sometimes it looks like he's playing a ball by the side. Such beautiful awareness and touch and technique.
This is Rodri. Awkward bounce. Now Docker. Rodri back to Docker. O'Reilly. City. Turned now. It's the
On the blues here. Just can't really get any sort of foothold in this second period at all.
City could be Arsenal next weekend if they could then win the game in hand. That's the 6 points.
Sasa utakula 1,200 au ukiakelea ili watu wakaniekea niliona kitu ni mbaya. Nilikwambia kufunga, hapo na bahati ya kufunga sana. Kufunga ndio
wala ile amepata nje, huyo ametoka.
hata kijia hata mgeni.
But I'm finding it so difficult and City have a problem here. Nico O'Reilly is down.
Yeah. What's going on there, but Nico O'Reilly is going to be okay to get back up on his feet and recover from this. Reminders. Whilst there's 2-0 lead, looks like every one of them Chelsea want to find something somewhere there. In the last 10 or 15 minutes that could be very different, so they've really got to keep their concentration and focus. It's been excellent today. It's really has. Very, very good. He's been in the belly of his hamstring there, which is a worry.
City's finest players are probably here. Yaya Toure watching on the centre bridge. Brother Kudo, who's part of the team staff. Santos is marking him.
Hii timu ni baya bwana.
Just trying to hang on to it. And then you in that sort of situation, and then you're hoping that it's not a great deal of people on that occasion. It's a brilliant cross.
Hiyo ingine ni yetu peke yake. Unaona sana ile ingine tunaona mpira ya jana ilikuwa imengojewa sana. Kama ungezidisha leo jambo mpira ya jana ya Arsenal na hii ya leo hiyo ilikuwa na maana sana.
Yeah, all right, Nori just needs to be nice and solid and sensible over the place. City have a very, very
bahati ya watu, kila mtu anachezana.
East to Lau, to Cole Palmer, to Santos, to Augusto. There's the pressure from Docker. Chelsea are not able to handle City at the moment.
Johnny Bao! Johnny Bao!
Very Watson. Just pressure here. Lorraine gives the ball to Santos, free kick to Chelsea. Done the hard work there.
Make it up.
hata akimtoa
twice in his Manchester United days. He's getting ready to go on, we believe. Romeo Lavia is also being prepared. We're seeing his thoughts and something.
First and foremost, the ball and his possession to try and create a situation or two. Just not had it. Had it, give me away.
It was exploring.
Decision. He delays and he pauses and he just... Three in the first, they were all ready to pinch it. It's a brilliant finish. Great goal from Jerry so good, hasn't it? Really has.
Chelsea find the backbone. Ideally. Best chance he's had today.
It's a really good delivery. So Pedro might feel he should have done better to this one. He just drifts behind Cahill.
Nakwambia hii imeenda.
Decisive result in Brighton. United scored against Manchester City.
Hii mahesabu ilifanywa Saturday iliyopita na watu wakapiga simu maoni iliandikwa.
Headed up by Mateus Nunes. Cena would love to make amends for the mistake a moment ago. Manchester City fans will be concerned here as they give it away. This is Cole Palmer. Cucurella. Just level the first.
Pressure again from Chelsea this time. They've done that second half. First time we've actually seen Chelsea squeezing City and going after them a little bit. Because of that, of course, the Marco it's not a bad strike, it's not too far away. They spent the first period in the second half just watching, just allowing City to challenge. So he stands on his foot and he catches him.
Given the injury history of Rodri, this would be of concern for Manchester City. He went off earlier, didn't go straight down the tunnel, he's re-emerged with the his leg. Puts into catching the turf there.
Cuts him on the head in front of his foot, and then again, that happens. You're 3-0 down, you can't stand off people anymore, you've got to go and chase them and get your foot in. That's what Lavia as a sub is trying to do there. But Rodri's foot actually wasn't off the floor. Sometimes you see those challenges coming and they're able to jump up in the air. Just now realising that it's gone around the globe.
So to go very far. He's going to be sending him the picture of him to see that he's back at his feet. I mean, the player he is and the injury problems he's had, I don't think anyone would want to see. Rodri, once again, he looks like he's going to be okay to re-enter the fray. He's not allowed immediately back on, of course, or receive treatment on the field, then is the rules. Header from Lavia. Pedro back to Marco Correa. Camacho. Palmer. Pedro again. Just to slow down for Chelsea as soon as they got to the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. It's clearance today from Bernardo Silva, so João Pedro might fancy a crack here. Blocked by Rodri back in the field.
He's looking for a worldly strike there. João Pedro is going to knock that one beyond Donnarumma.
City's title dreams still burning with this performance today. Bernardo Silva. Bishop looks for Booker. Now Bernardo Silva. City almost playing at a walking pace here. Doku. Okay. Space for Khrushchev. Does he fancy it? He does.
As well, it's almost just fading away. Sanchez is right now post, but it's nicely hit. Today again, mentioned about the pace that he has in City of Moscow. He really pushed them in that sort of area.
Double change for Guardiola, where Turkey is going to make way. Jeremy Doku as well. Foden. Sweden with the two coming on. Jeremy Doku having scored for the first time in 22 games in all competitions. Guardiola brings on fresh legs for the closing quarter hour.
Yeah, again, much better second half there, Turkey. As he can run, he is quick across the ground, he is a really good mover with the ball. If he's been first half, it's a little pedestrian at times, but second half so much better. And Doku.
Showdown scored against Chelsea last season at the Etihad, 3 goals against Chelsea in the past. Just like Doku, he's not scored in his last 21 appearances in all competitions. Last Foden goal was at Palace 119 days ago. Joe Petro showed the skills, but couldn't hold on to it. Each story, Gay, Rodri to Foden. Stays like this, it's going to be 3 Premier League defeats in a row. Not much game time for Pep Guardiola to impress the England manager Thomas Tuchel out of the World Cup. Much competition for players who play others at Summer hoping that Chelsea would do them a favour today.
Into the game, there wasn't a tremendous amount in it. It's that second half, City just gone through the gears and played with much more pace and intent, getting the ball forward much quicker. And in truth, Chelsea just haven't got to handle that.
Manchester City been moving through the gears. There's been a bit of clank, a bit of congestion for Chelsea. There's Nouri. Cancelo didn't want to foul him. Semenyo's come across to play on the left wing since Jeremy Doku's departure.
Yeah, Semenyo's gone out on that right side. Yeah, he's walking onto that one on his right foot. He actually should have hit the target with that. Nice running in. Nouri. Picked the ball up, 40 yards from Chelsea's goal, immediately sprinted towards the edge of that 18-yard box.
Chelsea are preparing further substitutions. As Bruce Bolton here. City scored 3 times today. And it could get worse for Chelsea.
It did look too easy as well, Malagusto. He goes to ground there. Times today. He's very competitive. Well, Augusto, but he's been easily taken on today. Players have gone beyond him.
Chelsea have now conceded 3 goals in consecutive Premier League games. First time that's happened since Mauricio Pochettino was in charge 2 years ago. To the last 10 minutes. Sugo and Liam Delap, another former City player. Set up widely Rosilla to try and shake things up. Speaking of players playing against the Rolls team, this is going to be an emotional moment. Because Mateo Kovacic, who's only played 37 minutes of football this season, comes on in place of Bernardo Silva, former Chelsea player.
Yeah, top player as well, Mateo Kovacic. Again, he'll drop straight into that Bernardo Silva role, keep the ball, and just run that come on down. Hard work's all been done.
Joe Pedro will make way. This is going to be a Premier League debut for Mateo Sugo. All appearances he's had for the club have been as a sub in the FA Cup this season. A disappointing day for him by his standards. Costly errors. Liam Delap has only scored once in his last 29 games. Augusto. Sosana. Hounded by Savinho. Chelsea at home again next weekend. And again, that's against the Manchester club, Manchester United visits Stamford Bridge next Saturday. Here's Garnacho, who we've barely mentioned since he's come on. Palmer. Back to Garnacho. Cucurella. Lavia. To return it to Michael Correa, what a pass! Save from Donnarumma. Invention from Chelsea, but they still can't beat the big Italian.
Yeah, great work from the goalkeeper. Lovely run this from Cucurella. Watch that. Times it beautifully. Doesn't do a lot wrong with the header either, does he? Maybe put it down onto the floor a little bit. But it's very close to Donnarumma there, and the big man makes another excellent stop.
Looking for his 12th Premier League clean sheet today, Gianluigi Donnarumma. Free kick within shooting range, Sultan Maragusta. This is the sort of location on the field that Chelsea very much would like to have Reece James involved. The captain out, the hamstring injury at the moment.
Right, Nuri, there's blatant clarity with that challenge. So this does present a good opportunity for Cole Palmer, you would imagine. As Augusto limps that one off.
In recent times scored a late penalty to level for a draw against Manchester City here. Camera angle shows you how inviting Cole Palmer. Savinho will make sure everything's tucked underneath. Cole Palmer, who left City as a boy, was grown into a superstar. Palmer.
From that sort of range, it was a little close to try and clip it over the top of the wall. Like to go for a bit of power, goalkeeper side, and comfortably dealt with.
Drury gives it away. Dario Sugo can't hold on. Semenyo to Malagusto. Semenyo battling to retrieve possession, and here is Sugo. Lost possession and it worked so hard to get it back again. Jay. Foden. Drury should be working the angles. Lovely footwork from Nuri. It was then blocked by Gusto. City are going to get a corner. Watch to admire here for the fleet-footed Algerian.
Stuff that, wasn't it, from Ryan Nuri? Gets his team in the corner. This one doesn't have to go into the box either, but I feel like they're going to put it in there and see if someone can put their head on it again.
All the way through to Savinho. Savinho. Kovacic. There's another silly corner. Chelsea can't get out of the moment. Ball getting out of Oasis. He's getting ready for next Sunday already. Arsenal will go to the Etihad. Foden. Haaland going in for enough touch to just about clears. Kovacic. Last touch again from Kovacic. Savinho looking for early Haaland. Fofana got there first, and Haaland and fouls the Frenchman.
Yeah, that's good play there from Wesley Fofana. Make sure they track the run of Erling Haaland there and attack the ball.
Josh Paul. He started against Manchester City last time they saw him in January. Even replacing Augusto against the opening in recent years.
Augusto is a very good competitor, but had his hands full with Gotham today, didn't he?
Season's first Premier League appearance in February since the Premier League. He's got action. Catching play by Donnarumma. Just not happened for Chelsea today. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. Goes Foden. Referee Chris Kavanagh says no foul. Haaland against Palmer. Semenyo against Action Palmer now, he's just come on. Did well.
Done that a few times today, actually. Erling Haaland has been really good when he's had to chase back and pitch the ball for his team. Done that very well.
Semenyo taking on Cucurella. Still alive here for Nuri. Okay. Kovacic. Foden. To heaven. coming after the Ulster game next weekend. Back-to-back away matches at Burnley and then Everton. And after that, City will only have 3 further Premier League games remaining this season. We are at the business end, we are at the run-in, and Manchester City might well be thinking that they are playing their best football of the season at this critical juncture.
I agree, Connor. I think they are.